would work if you started off as friends? I'm truly Eleanor, and I help women create loving and secure relationships based on trust in 6 months or less. So I wanted to answer this question that came in as a question for my Truly Eleanor Q&A video series, where I answer your specific questions around love and relationships. And I really love this one because it's got so many different answers. And I'm going to help you to look at it from several different angles. So, of course, yes, there are relationships out there that have succeeded and been an amazing relationship because the people started off as friends. And then there are the people who have been stuck in the friend zone or in a friendship, almost prison, for years and years, and it's never turned into a relationship, or it's been just friends with benefits or something that never really turned into a loving and secure relationship. So, of course, both scenarios can happen, and I wanted to help you to see what might be the case for you. So, for example, say you have feelings for a friend of yours and you want it to go further. This would have to be a case where you're going to get vulnerable and tell the person how you feel and risk the friendship becoming weird. So the risk is that if you say to someone, I have feelings for you that are more than friendship, then you will risk the person saying, I don't feel the same way. And then from then on, it might be very awkward, which is why sometimes these things limp along for years and years. And one person has feelings or both people have feelings and no one says anything. And it just becomes this really weird in-between zone. So my first thing to say is that you will need to be honest about your feelings and take that risk, because being in a healthy relationship means taking healthy risks. And it is healthy to express your feelings for someone. And you can even say it in a way that's non-threatening. Like you can say, I know that we're really good friends and we've been friends for X number of years, and I really love you and care about you, but I wanted to tell you that I have developed feelings that are more than friendship. And I wanted you to know that. And I want to, talk about this and see where you stand with that, or just kind of leave it as, how do you feel about what I just said? Let's have a discussion. So that's kind of how you would lead into that. And then you will have to basically be open and ready for whatever the person is going to say, however they are going to show up. And they might say, I love you so much, but I just feel friendship feelings with you, and I don't see myself developing those kind of feelings. Or they might get confused and say, I don't know how I feel. I'm going to need some time to process this. And maybe, in a couple of weeks, they might come back and say, yes, I feel the same way. And I was afraid. And, ta-da, you're together. Or it could be that the person says, I'm sorry, I don't have those kind of feelings for you. And I don't want to hurt you or have this be awkward. So I think we're going to have to see each other less or not be friends anymore. That is a possibility. So when you go into something where you're expressing your feelings and being authentic communication and communicating from the heart, there is no pretending and there's nowhere to go. And that's why it is vulnerable, because the person is almost being held to a standard where they're going to have to also be authentic, or else they're going to run away if they can't deal with that. So that's the standard you want to meet in any relationship, any case where you're dating or you've just met someone. It's going to be the same thing. You want to hold them to the standard where you're going to be authentic and honest about your feelings, and you want them to be authentic and honest. And so it takes practice, and it takes discernment and confidence through practice, through expressing your needs, to have it go your way in that sense. Otherwise, nothing's going to change. So I don't want to go too far off track, but that was basically a scenario. If you're friends with someone and you have feelings, what I would say to the things to think about. And also, I will say another thing is to get really clear on your feelings. So sometimes you're just so connected to the person as a friend and you have some physical attraction going on, but that not doesn't necessarily mean that you want to be in a relationship with them, or you maybe think that it's just that physical attraction or that sexual chemistry that you feel with someone, but it wouldn't actually be a great relationship. And you kind of know that. So the only way you're going to know what you want is by getting really clear within yourself first. So journaling about this, asking yourself, am I just feeling like they're attractive and I'm attracted to them, but I see the way that they are in relationships and I see that they're a little bit immature, or, they don't treat their partners the way I want to be treated. And so in a logical sense, they're not the right person for me. And I'm just going to acknowledge that I'm physically attracted to them and I find them attractive. And that's okay. You can find your friends attractive. It's nothing wrong with that. It's usually just a signal that, you're connected to them and there's some like harmonious vibes there, and that's fine, that's natural. So it doesn't mean you have to actually act on that. So that's one thing to think about. Second thing is, when you're doing your journaling is, maybe you do say, oh, this person I think would be really great in a relationship and I want to take it further, and you realize that through your journaling and through your introspection. So by all means then go for it, knowing that you are taking a risk, a healthy risk. And then, so the question was, is it more successful if you are friends first or if you just meet? And that depends on you and it depends on your situation in life. If you are finding that you have a very close relationship or friendship with someone that you feel like has developed into something more from your end, you need to explore that. But if you don't have that kind of connection, then, you would go with someone who you haven't met yet through dating, through online dating, or meeting someone through being set up, or whatever this way that you're going to meet a partner just firsthand. But there's no right or wrong. There's no better version of a relationship. I define, and through the women I've worked with, they also define the same thing, as when you have a beautiful relationship like that, it feels like home. And it doesn't mean that you have to be friends first. And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with, just meeting someone as a stranger or knowing them your whole life. There's no rules around that. It's just, do you feel that connection to the person on all levels? Do you want to explore that? Do they feel like home in some sense? Do they feel like a safe connection for you? It doesn't matter if they've been your friend or you've just met them, as long as there is that criteria. So looking at it logically, like, are they the type of person I want to be in a relationship with? Do I feel this connection with them? Does it feel safe? Does it feel like home? And then where do I want to go from here? So that's the way I would approach it, depending on your situation. And that could be any one of those scenarios, whether you're friends, you just met, or what have you. There's no, success or X factor to say that this works out better than the other scenario. There's no one way or another. It's just your individual experience in life and what you're looking for and who you come across in your life. So what your situation is with your relationships and friendships. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say about that. I would say that the most successful relationships, however you meet, doesn't matter if you've known them or not or whatever, but once you're in the relationship, so you've started the relationship with the person, when it feels like home, you can become best friends, and it does feel like they are your best friend and more. So that is one of the ways that a lot of women will describe a very good relationship, is they feel like they're with their best friend. So that's something that develops over time. It doesn't have to be something that you are already experiencing. So hopefully that answers the question from all angles and helps you to figure out, maybe you're in a situation where you're friends with someone that you're feeling more for, or you feel like, I wonder if it would be better if I would just be friends and then started dating someone. It's up to you, and it's all based on your wants and desires and your needs. Um, and you go from there. So I will answer any questions in the comments. Please feel free to comment any insights or questions that you might have, and I will see you next time. So thank you so much. This is truly Eleanor signing off for now.